be honest with you. The pros are running more of what college started running 15 years ago. But, and a lot of that was Art Briles and Baylor and so on. But keep an eye on Steve Sarkisian, the head football coach at Texas, Lane Kiffin, the head football coach at Ole Miss, and Ryan Day, the head football coach at Ohio State. The New York Football Giants job is open. Jackson Dart's there. Y'all all know that. The Dolphins is going to open, and you feel like the Titans will open. So then from there, will you get one more job? I don't know. We'll see.
And Lane's coached 2 of those quarterbacks?
He has coached Tua and Dart. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like if you like Dart going forward, that's not a bad spot.
Yeah, so the question is, NFL, I don't think they've done that since Urban, and because that was such a, yeah, I mean, it was a dumpster fire. It was
an absolute disaster.
Sure, sure.
Is that the only? In recent history, is that the only, I'm about to look it up.
Matt Rule went from Baylor to Carolina.
He did,
and that was a disaster.
It was. Dang, yeah, he did.
And Joe Judge was. Somebody just asked. Joe Judge was in the NFL when he took the New York Giants job. He was a special teams coordinator and may have been the associate head coach
for
Bill Belichick at that time.
That's correct.
But Joe Judge was on the New England Patriots staff. Joe Judge, Mississippi State alum, current Ole Miss. He's more than an analyst, so whatever you want to say. Lane's right hand, or one of them.
Does he go with Lane? Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Did they promote Joe Judge?
I know I talked to – they like living in the South, even though he's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
He married a girl that's tied to Mississippi State. I'm not going to say that he wouldn't go back there by any stretch because he had a good run in the NFL other than being a head coach.
Right.
I mean, he won at least 2, maybe more. But, yeah. So my point in all that is those are the wild cards. Steve Sarkisian at Texas, Lane at Ole Miss, Ryan Day at Ohio State. Those are the wild cards.
Yeah, we missed one.
Okay, Matt Rule, Urban Meyer, and what?
Your boy, Harbaugh.
Oh, that's right. Well, he'll do well. But, he was in the NFL for a long time. Went to the Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers. And you're right, went to Michigan, won it, and now he's with the Chargers.
Did Kingsbury
my favorite team out west.
Kingsbury made the jump. Yeah, he did.
Was it straight from he got fired from Texas Tech, I thought.
Fired.
Or did he leave Texas Tech? They really couldn't win with Mahomes. I think they went 5-7 with him. And Mahomes gets drafted by the Chiefs, but I don't remember how that was was Kingsbury.
He went 5-7 with him.
Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
Did he go straight from Tech, or was he in the NFL for a minute as an OC?
It was 18. He was done at Tech, and then 19 he started coaching for the Cardinals.
Wow, I do remember the shot of him for the NFL draft during COVID because all the women went crazy.
Yeah.
He was in a beautiful home somewhere in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area.
Forgot about that.
It looks like an awesome home, living area and so on. And he's wearing all white, like he's going out to a club in Vegas. And the females went crazy.
Lit.
You remember that? He was sitting by himself in his living room with a laptop looking at the TV. You remember because we did all that nonsense where Roger Goodell ran the draft from his basement?
And they couldn't get the man a green screen or something behind him.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
It was incredible. That was his.
It looked like he was in a speakeasy in Demopolis, Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have way too much money for that to be the case.
Which I don't even know if that's a wet county.
Kingsbury was hired at 18 by USC to go out there and be the OC.
Okay.
Resigned a month later.
Okay.
To go to the NFL.
Yeah, so Arizona hired him, and they paired him with Kyler Murray.
Right.
Because Kyler had gone through Texas Tech, maybe?
Did he go through Tech?
Before going to Oklahoma? Ooh. I can't remember.
I thought he was A&M.
That may not have been. Well, he was A&M.
Remember that? He was with them and that little trio that just kept going back and forth.
Kept leaving. That's right. That's right. Thank you. Okay.
God, what a.
And then he ends up at Oklahoma?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Remember his dad was a handful, I believe.
Was he?
Yeah.
I remember Mississippi State played Oklahoma in the Florida State regionals, and he was in the batting lineup, right?
Yes.
Because he had just been, I think he had just been drafted like number 8 or number 11 in the first round.
I forgot about that.
It was at the time that McNamee and them went down there and came from behind after the weather delay.
That age checks
Trying
out.
to piece all that together. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. The show is brought to you by Total Transportation of Mississippi. Apply today. They're offering nationwide and regional routes for drivers. Okay? Big time competitive pay, frequent time off, monthly bonuses, great benefits, all powered by Total Transportation of Mississippi. TotalMS.com. You can go to the site and apply right now for a great job. TotalMS.com. The Out of Bounds Show is driven by Total Transportation of Mississippi, offering nationwide and regional routes. TotalMS.com. Do you want to drop this Lane stuff and then go back to what we were debating as far as the NFL and jobs and maybe a little bit of college football? The best job open right now is LSU. It does not matter how much they trip over there. You know what? That job, along with Georgia and Ohio State, are the best jobs in the country. Florida can be a great job in 0.3 seconds. Lane talked about that. I want the Lane on if Florida and Ole Miss want you. You got it? Here we go.
Not focused on it all, like you said a couple weeks ago, but just, I mean, if Florida wants you and if Ole Miss wants you, it'll necessitate you making a decision. I was just curious, like with the portal opening on January 2nd, do you even have time to think about that, or how important is it to come to whatever decision before the portal opens?
I don't know. I'm not that far down the road. I said it last week, and you guys think I was joking, or the South Carolina, like everybody wants to talk about other jobs and everything. And I think you're 2-3 weeks away from coaching for your own job. So you better make sure you're doing really well where you are. Because as we've seen out there, I've said 1 win put you out of the top 10. Now 2 wins might put you out of the top 25, and 3 might get you fired. So I ain't figured all that out. I'm trying to keep our winning streak, get to 8-0 at home.
Not focused on it all.
All right. So what was your takeaway from that? He's deflecting. He doesn't know what he wants to do, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he does. But I think there's still more, as we were trying to convey to the audience a couple of weeks ago, there's going to be several hurdles for guys like Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin, and Ryan Day. All right. And then the guys that are staying in college, they could have multiple offers too. John Summerall, Jeff Brom. For our listeners, John Summerall's at Tulane. I know some of y'all don't keep up with it quite like us, which I very much understand. John Summerall at Tulane. Jeff Brom at Louisville. James Franklin is still kind of over here. You know, he's kind of over here with the $50 million stack of cash, not counting already making $50 million or plus at Penn State. And then there's talk about Lincoln Riley and whether he would move. I mean, is anybody really paying $20 million to lift a coach like Dan Lanning from Oregon? And then we'll have some others emerge. And then you got the guys kind of at that other, Lane and Sark and Ryan Day they're the dudes, right? And Lane is the talk of the town, and I'm throwing Sark and Ryan Day in. They're not going to take another college job.
Okay, yeah, that's
obviously, as y'all know, because they're at Ohio State and Texas.
Right.
But so I kind of lump them in at times and then lump them out. So I put them together as Sarkisian, Ryan Day, Lane Kiffin. NFL jobs are the wild card for them. Then I take 2 of them out, Ryan Day and Steve Sarkisian, and then Lane fits in another category of possibly moving to a college job.
Yeah.
Along with John Summerall at Tulane, Jeff Brom at Louisville, James Franklin at Penn State, and others. As some of that gets settled, then you're going to start looking at the Charles Huffs. What happens with Huff?
Man.
And what happens with some other guys that are winning at some other places that, Drink. I think Drink is good. Drink's not in the Lane tier.
No.
and I get it. I just received a text on how many. There's no doubt the schedule. They've done a good job, and the schedule has been insanely favorable. I got the text earlier on how many wins teams that Missouri and Ole Miss have played combined. And then somebody broke it down right here. Ole Miss, let's see, their teams combined wins to date, 52 wins for the year.
Wow.
Mississippi State, 72 wins. Yeah, there's a difference in schedules when you're talking about what Mississippi State has played, what Florida's played, what Georgia's played compared to some other teams. But you know what? That's who they told you were playing, and that's who you are playing.
Yeah.
But that's where we're going to lump. You've got the NFL wildcard jobs for 3 guys. Sarkisian, Rondé, Lane. Then you've got the big jobs in play if they want them. Lane, John Summerall at Tulane, possibly Brom at Louisville, possibly Drink at Missouri, especially if Lane decides to stay at Ole Miss, they're going to go down to the Summerall, Brom, Drinkwitz at Missouri level of guys. Does Lincoln Riley want to move back across the Mississippi? I don't know. But, I mean, they've done a solid. I don't think they've blown our skirt. You know,
No.
I think he's done a solid job. I know that they're trending better this year, but the Big Ten is awful.
Yeah, well,
I mean, Indiana and Ohio State really, we can pick apart Ole Miss's schedule and their best wins at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But Indiana and Ohio State,
they don't have that.
Now, teams that have beat Georgia's beat some teams, Bama, you've had some teams that have had some impressive victories. Of course, A&M's undefeated, and whenever you're undefeated, that's insane.
Quite impressive.
Let's go with Lane. Did you get what I just sent you? Huh? Oh, it is? Okay. All right, then I want the first one. Lane on Florida job distractions. The Ole Miss media is asking somewhat more candid and direct questions to Lane.
The South Carolina,
On it all, like you said a couple weeks ago, but just, I mean, if Florida wants you and if Ole Miss wants you, it'll necessitate you making a decision. I was just curious, like with the portal opening on January 2nd, do you even have time to think about that, or how important is it to come to whatever decision before the portal opens?
I don't know. I'm not that far down the road. I said it last week, and you guys think I was joking, or the South Carolina, everybody wants to talk about other jobs and everything, and I think you're 2-3 weeks away from coaching for your own job, so you better make sure you're doing really well where you are, because as we've seen out there, I've said 1 win put you out of the top 10. Now 2 wins might put you out of the top 25, and 3 might get you fired. So I ain't figured all that out. I'm trying to keep our winning streak, get to 8-0 at home.
So for Lane to be a big city guy and a lot of West Coast and a little bit of East, he just said ain't. He doesn't usually do that. He's not Southern at all. That was kind of funny. All right, so my takeaway there is he doesn't know, he's deflecting, and he doesn't know exactly what's coming down the pipe.
No.
I mean, has he talked to Jimmy Sexton? Sure. Has Scott Strickland talked to Jimmy Sexton? Yes. Has the new I was about to say LSD, but they may as well be on that. But LSU AD,
Same thing.
Burge or whatever his name, who's been part of the LSU athletic department since basically 1977 or something. I think he was there when Bear Bryant was coaching at Alabama. I don't know, but they decided to give him the gig, and more power to him.
Heck yeah.
Maybe it's his Kurt Signetti moment. I talk about this all the time.
Hey.
Some people land their job by 26, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Some don't. And I think something that we all think about it is, now that we can see everything, people believe that all these people on social media are actually doing what they're claiming.
Right, yeah.
And they're making $50,000 a day.
Yeah.
They're not.
No.
And so one thing that we started talking about over 15 years ago was Saban didn't land a dream job until he's 50 years old. Okay, so I know he was it's not like he had all bad jobs. I know he was in the NFL, right, as a coordinator and an assistant coach too. And I know he spent the 1 year at Toledo. But prior to that, he was at Michigan State. And Michigan State is not close to a premier job. But it took him a minute to get to the promised land of LSU. Hired in, I think, December of 99. And then his first year was 2000. And I remember his first year we didn't know much about him. We think we do because that's how we wire our brain, but we really didn't know who he was. I remember that first year, Cheryl took a pretty damn good 2000 team down to Baton Rouge, and it was a hell of a game. But they couldn't put them away. Cheryl and the Dogs could not put LSU away, and LSU won by a score. I mean, it was a phenomenal back and forth all night, bunch of points. And anyway, Saban by year 2 would emerge as a real threat and a power, and y'all know what happened after that. But we talk about Curt Cignetti not getting his dream job till he was 62 years old. You know, in interviews after winning at Penn State, they asked him about it. He said, I never thought I'd coach here.
Yeah.
He thought he said in the interview, he said, I thought I would always be at James Madison. And you've never watched a play of James Madison football, and neither have I. It doesn't mean it's not quality and good, and all they did was win there. But the point is that guy, yeah, he coached at Alabama as an assistant coach, Curt Cignetti, but he didn't get a big-time Power 4 job until he was 62 years old. But as corny as it sounds, he stayed in the saddle. Yep. And now look what's happened to him. Look at the success he's having. He is driving a program to heights never seen before, never experienced. I mean, isn't that what you want to do for your business, your community, whatever you do? I don't care if you're teaching 4th grade English or you got a sales territory. Curt Cignetti walked into Indiana and is taking them to places they've never been. Lane Kiffin is taking Ole Miss to places they've never been before. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. The Out of Bounds show is driven by Total Transportation of Mississippi. They're offering nationwide and regional routes. Apply today. TotalMS.com.
like you said a couple weeks ago, but just, I mean, if Florida wants you and if Ole Miss wants you, it'll necessitate you making a decision. I was just curious, like with the portal opening on January 2nd, do you even have time to think about that, or how important is it to come to whatever decision before the portal opens?
I don't know. I'm not that far down the road. I said it last week, and you guys think I was joking, or the South Carolina, like everybody wants to talk about other jobs and everything, and I think you're 2-3 weeks away from coaching for your own job, so you better make sure you're doing really well where you are, because as we've seen out there, I've said 1 win put you out of the top 10. Now 2 wins might put you out of the top 25, and 3 might get you fired.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
This is Sound Warning.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Lowbound. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9. The Zone.
Do you even have time to think about that, or how important is it to come to whatever decision before the portal opens?
Good morning. Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Woo! I'm your host, Bo Bounds.
Hot take.
We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. This is 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Thanks for listening to the show on the radio or streaming. We appreciate it. We have a really good time. We hope that you join the party. It's nothing but a circus and a carnival, to be honest with you. And but we like it. And we're sports and a lot of entertainment. Well, we hope it is entertaining. That's for sure. I mean, outside of Jackson Meadows, who wants to drink Tito's White Russians during a show now that it got cold. So that may have to happen for Mr. Christmas time and Mr. Ho 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 and Mr. Christmas card list. Wes, have you heard about this? So Jackson, by the way, the show is brought to you by Kessler Prime. It's good steak and bourbon weather. KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. Ribeyes, fillets, New York strips. The rack of lamb's amazing. KesslerPrime.com. Good steak and bourbon weather. Fire pit. Well, depending on where you are, you probably need to be blocked a little bit and from the wind. But Jackson loves this weather when it gets cold. You're almost worse than windy. Like when it drops under 70, you're like, you're shivering like a little kid.
Time, man. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to just go to sleep.
Okay. Wes, I wanted to let you know that Jackson sends out a Christmas card list, so it's coming up, in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
And he sends out a Christmas card list of, and out of the 37 people, 35 are females.
Wow.
Several ex-girlfriends and ex-girlfriends' moms are on the list. So we think it's fantastic. And he's got to keep it going. But he says now that he's got a serious girlfriend. This thing could be in jeopardy, and we're trying to keep it in play.
It's definitely in jeopardy.
Right? We're trying to keep it on the table, keep everything lined up for straight funk. So I'd like to get our listeners' reaction first, and then Wes. The text line is 601-885-3776. Most people admire him, that 35 of the 37 recipients are females. What are your thoughts, Wes?
Well, I'm pretty impressed, first and foremost. So I can just slide mine. I can just.
And you're single.
I'm single.
Oh, that's right.
You guys should kind of merge and get Wes's list of every single female that he knows.
We can do that.
And
not very many.
And then you
I
can
got a whole slew of them.
Boom. Then y'all can have a merged Christmas card list.
Yeah, you know how people sell their they sell their books of business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sold my book of cards.
Oh, that would be strong.
It's a $100 card now. That's a $100 list.
Yeah. Are there some attractive females on the list?
Yeah. Let's
Not
say,
yes, but hell yes?
Yeah. Give me the 5th.
Okay. Well, is this what you're thinking?
Just trying to find some recruits.
That's what it was.
That's what we're doing. We're just trying to find some recruits.
Yeah,
more
for me,
for you, and for the Christmas card list. Let's ask our listeners: are there any single ladies that would like to be on Jackson Meadows' Christmas card list? So the text line, text us this morning. We will get you on the list. He takes his dogs to Bass Pro Shop.
Yep.
He's in Christmas pajamas. Weren't you in Christmas pajamas?
Yeah, I mean,
or some kind of nonsense like that.
I always have I get the Jordans that come out for the Christmas holiday.
Okay.
And the Jordan jumper. So yeah.
Oh, you were in, of course. Yeah. You look like an AAU coach.
Better, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Third party flesh peddler. Love it. That's what I was thinking when I saw that. So you were in a Jordan jumpsuit, new Jordan shoes, and you had
probably a beanie on.
No, you had the big
that was Santa hat
on.
I did.
Well, one of them you did. You sent me multiple pictures.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so if there are any single ladies out there that want to be on Straight Funk's Christmas card list, will you shoot us a text? 601-885-3776.
Tough list crack.
Does he send you a Christmas
card? And if you have family
money,
money, we'll move you up to the top. Because we can all go to your whoever this single lady is. We can go to your beach house during the holidays.
Yeah,
so we can, and we'll do the show from your beach house.
Wow.
So
we'll make you famous.
She can't even get mad at this point. I mean, this is.
Well, you're doing it for the show. I mean, that's the sell.
Simple
at the house.
Love
you're doing it for the show.
Yeah. We'll see how many times I use that.
Now the White Russian.
Yeah, Tito's White Russians, which this time of year.
Oh, they're so
I mean,
good.
this guy can drink them in July when it's 110. But this time of year, as you know, it's a Tito's White Russian is a good, on the weekends. After dinner drinks on the weeknights, a little bit dicey. I mean, but man, on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, after. Yes.
I had no idea that was even before I even knew what that was, I was wearing a robe and drinking White Russians.
That's true.
I had no idea
this is true. He basically we did a
Caucasian Jackie.
We did a remote at Pearl River Resort a few years ago, and he basically wore a robe and was drinking White Russians. It was embarrassing.
Awesome. And then I saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Bridges is awesome. Yeah, I'd tell you, it made me smile. I'd tell you, it felt like I was living what I was watching.
Do you bowl?
I do. I played bowl.
I tell you, a cool place to bowl is Highball Lanes.
Yeah,
those bowling lanes are incredible.
Supposed to be in that league this year.
Did you forget?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's a late after Christmas league.
Surely, right?
Yeah, starting in I would think so.
Yeah,
it's probably a couples league now for the holiday season.
Well, there you go. You can do a singles mingles or whatever in the hell y'all do it when you're you can do something like that. I think that again, you're doing it for the show.
That's right. Yeah.
We're trying to add to the Christmas card list for the Out of Bounds show.
Oh man!
So if you're a single female and you want to be on the Christmas card list, text us on the Golden Moon Casino text line 601-885-3776.
A guy named Sliced Bread.
Because I ain't diving into the non-single.
No,
we don't do. We ain't dealing daddling.
Right. Right. We need to get you over 40, maybe 45 on the thing.
Yeah,
what's going on here? Twitter X at Bowbounds. Twitter X at Bowbounds. I haven't tweeted today, but I may. Why not get crazy? Key City Curse is a great beer. All Key City beer is delicious. The Mississippi Queen is the number one thing, but Mi Vida is their Mexican lager that is, awesome. But a bunch of entrepreneurs over there in Vicksburg that are crushing it. Key City Beer. The caller line 601-707-3750. Let's see what we got going on here. QB1, is Jackson not in a relationship anymore? No, he is.
Oh yeah.
We said that. It's just we're trying to spice up the Christmas card list. And we're thinking that his significant other is going to be okay with it because we're doing this for the show.
Yeah.
Jackson and Wes should take pictures and matching Christmas pajamas and combine their lists and send out to all the ladies. I agree.
That's not bad.
And they should hold Tito's White Russians. I think that would be so great.
And cigars.
Yeah, they don't even have to be lit. You can still be at Bass Pro. I'll give you a couple of the Bocock Brothers cigars, and y'all can do all that.
They're not real big fans of that out there in Rain County.
Holding a White Russian? You just say it's milk.
Good point.
They're not going to know.
No, they're not.
Just tell them it's milk with a little chocolate syrup or something.
They'll know.
No, they're not.
Well, it depends on which White Russian I'm on.
Well, that's true. That's true. All right. So, single ladies that want to be on Jackson's Christmas card list, we would like to hear from you on the text line 601-885-3776. Or you can put a friend on there. I'm good with that. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Mike Detillier, straight out of New Orleans at 8:30 on the show. Whoa. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds show.
By the way, I'm a fan.
And we're live in the Bank Plus studio. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. Let's get into some Mississippi State quarterback discussion. We talked Lane Train, the first, well, not just Lane, but job opening, silly season, coaching carousel. And I know it's one of the most popular things that anybody does on sports talk radio. People are always, we as humans are obsessed with where the next guy may go or not go. And we're definitely obsessed with the unknown. It's why I try to, when I run into people throughout the year, they're like, what's the off season like? I'm like, well, we do bigger streaming numbers a lot of times, one, but two, the off season's just as big as the season because the unknown of what your team is going to be or what your next player is going to be or your next coach that you've hired or OC or DC. Like Mississippi State fans right now, Brian O'Connor. I mean, he tore up the portal and tore up recruiting. Now, are they going to win a bunch of games? I don't know. You feel like they put themselves in position to be really good. But the unknown is there. He's new, and he's got the pedigree. And you're not winning like you want to in football. So it's a combination of, several things. But one thing that we all know, it's like when you it's why Christmas as a kid was amazing. It was the unknown of what Santa was going to put under the tree. It's when you go out on a date, it's when you're single, and it's the unknown. Are we going to hit it off? Is the chemistry going to be there? And so on. Or when you meet someone, you don't know if you're going to hit it off, right? You move somewhere, you meet your neighbor. Are y'all going to be buddies and cook out a lot? Or it's just not, doesn't mean you don't dislike each other, but you just don't, you're not going to pal around. We love, as
starting a new job. I mean,
yeah, you're, and that's what this is. LSU and Florida want the next new thing. Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, Auburn, UCLA possibly. And then we know we're going to have some coaches jump. We just don't know which ones, which is then going to open up other jobs. And that's the unknown too. Now, let me get into quarterback play. Jeff Lebby talked about Blake Shapen not practicing yesterday. And people are going back, that means Kamario Taylor gets to play the whole. No. You need both. Like, you need to have both. You need Blake to get healthy by Saturday in Columbia, Missouri, or whenever the final, whatever's wrong with him, whether it could be an upper body extremity, that sounded very official, or a concussion, whatever he's going through. You want him to be healthy when you get on the plane on Saturday, or if there's one last kind of check on Saturday morning.
Right.
I'm sorry, get on the plane on Friday to go to Columbia, Missouri. Whatever I said. The point is, but you can be pro Kamario Taylor and Blake Shapen. I know this is incredible.
Wow.
See, I can be pro Jeff Lebby and also want him to shake up his staff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can question him. I can constructively criticize him. I can say there's no question in my mind that he needs a new defensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, defensive line coach, and secondary coach.
Gotcha.
And that he needs someone on the offensive side at a high level beside him to help him manage the game if this is going to work.
Yep.
I can also say Jeff's very charismatic. Kamario Taylor loves him. And the players obviously play for him because there's been a lot of ups and downs this year and so on. But I can also say his game control, his game management is average at best. I can say that Blake Shapen has a low ceiling, but he can still make a throw in the SEC, and he has made throws against multiple teams.
Yeah.
Okay, I can say that he's a solid QB in the SEC, that he is very limited. And you've been going with very limited QBs since Garrett Schrader, really. Okay? And he didn't get a lot of, yeah. I mean, he didn't get a lot of playing time, but he would have been incredible. And prior to that, you had two phenomenal QBs in Fitz and Dak. But you've been going with very, very limited athletically playmaking ability quarterbacks for some time now. I can say that. Doesn't mean that I don't like those guys. It doesn't mean that every now and then those guys can't make a play. But if you just want to go 90 miles up the road, Ole Miss has been going with dual threat, mobile playmakers, playmaking ability QBs. You haven't. What have the results been on the field? Post Dan Mullen, for the most part, and since Kiffin got to Oxford. So this is Matt Corral and Jackson Dart and Trinidad Chambliss are all playmakers, dual threat, can absolutely crush you running, and all are accurate enough, some more than others that I'm referencing, in throwing the football from the pocket, or if you move the pocket, move them out of the pocket. I mean, Corral and Dart were incredible. Chambliss has been good. We'll see, where that goes the rest of the year.
What do you want? Do you want the dual threat quarterback, or do you want the pocket?
No. You want a dual threat QB. You can't have a statue.
Okay.
And Blake Shapen's not totally a statue, but he's far from a dual threat QB. Yeah. So, and you don't have to have Nick Fitzgerald, who's like 70+% runner, 30% passer, but of course it worked with Nick and Mullen. I mean, they were,
did it.
And I mean, even Fitz was able to win games under Joe Moorhead, who's one of the worst hires in the history of the state. So when you think about that, that goes to show you how good he is as a football. Look, when you have a bad coach and you can still win games, that's all I need to know.
SEC ball games,
right?
Like
I mean, Nick Fitzgerald beat everybody but Bam, and he was up 10 points on Bam in the fourth quarter. Dan kind of lost his mind and lost his way, but that's another discussion for another day.
About that.
My point is, Blake Shapen and Kamario Taylor can both play, be productive, and find a way possibly for you to get one more point on Saturday in Columbia, Missouri. This has never been a better – you've had a lot of things go against you since Mike Leach died, or since Joe Moorhead was hired, which was a disaster, and Mike Leach died, all right? And, again, you haven't had a playmaker at the quarterback position since Garrett Schrader played for 5 minutes as a true freshman. And he and John Rice Plumlee did really well.
Yeah.
Garrett Schrader against John Rice Plumlee in their only Egg Bowl, give Garrett Schrader credit. He made a couple of plays in the fourth quarter. They were impressive. My point in all this is I don't know why you can't be pro both and use both. I think that you need to go possession by possession. I don't think that you need to go and throw Kamario in during the drive, or especially when it's like second or third down. Now, there are exceptions if you're on the 1 yard line and you've got a 6'5", 225-pound guy that you believe, after you've run a couple of plays, that he can either be enough of a decoy because they got to account for him and he can hand it to Booth or Fluff,
right?
Or the guy can lean into an offensive line and score. There are exceptions to everything we talk about. But I think for the most part, I'd kind of like to go, you have this possession, Kamario. You have this whole drive in possession.
Right. What if one gets hot?
Outside of, hey, we've driven into Missouri's territory. We're on the 38.
Right.
We have a half a yard. Yes, put Kamario in.
Right. We got a question on the YouTube line, YouTube feed.
Oh.
Reggie Hankerson. If we don't go with Kamario the rest of the way, is there a concern of him leaving?
Yes.
If they don't play Kamario the rest of the way,
they're going to play. They're already playing Kamario.
Yes.
He's playing this Saturday. He'll play against Ole Miss. How much, I don't know, but I mean, he's already playing he played a lot against Arkansas. He played a lot against Georgia last weekend. So, all right, Mike Detillier coming up next. Brought to you by Martin's in Livingston. Have you tried it? It's fantastic. Lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Today is the ribs. That's the blue plate. They started smoking them about 4 a.m. this morning. Okay? The ribs, that's the blue plate today at Martin's in Livingston. Their gumbo's amazing. This is gumbo weather, isn't it? Hell yeah, it is. So the blue plate special today at Martin's in Livingston is the ribs, and they're fabulous. Mike Detillier out of New Orleans on LSU and some other jobs coming up next. Good morning. We are the Out of Bounds Show. Mike Detillier coming up next. Brought to you by Sound and Communication, soundcomav.com. If you need a video wall for your business, conference room, lobby, school, arena, gym, church, all powered by Sound and Communications, soundcomav.com. Locally owned right over there by Rick's Pro Truck in Pearl and Muskelly Furniture in Pearl. Sound and Communications is there for your next video wall. We welcome in Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Mike D joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Mike, with the new president, and I guess they promoted Verge to full-time AD, and you walk me through that if that's all accurate. But with all that happening, do you think things are starting to settle down around LSU compared to a week or 2 or 3 ago?
Yeah, I think from a structure of the school it has, but I think the next thing that'll really kind of catch fire is that Brian Kelly and the school, this is going to go to court off of which he feels as though he should be paid the entire $53 million. And the school is trying to get him to settle for less. And they're saying he got fired because of cause. I think it's cause he wasn't winning. So that'll be the next thing to really drop. But I think finally there's some stability with Wade Roos at present. And he's a Bayou boy like me. He grew up right down the road from where I grew up. We're about 10, 11 years younger. But calming that down. And, Verge has been there since even before 2000. So been through a lot of coaches and athletic directors, and I think that they will try to land the big fish, to be honest with you. I just have a feeling that that's kind of the route that he would like to go.
All right, so the big fish, is there only one? Is it Lane Kiffin, or is there another one, in your opinion, in this coaching cycle?
I always felt that they had a serious interest in Lane. Now, could they get him? I don't know.
Yeah.
This has always been just my personal opinion, that either Lane Kiffin stays at Ole Miss, and if he left, it wouldn't be for college football, it'd be for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one spot he didn't have success. And at that time, and you think about, Al Davis was up in age, and, there was some issues there. The way Al was running the Raiders when he was the head coach for a short time. So, I just feel as though that either Lane stays at Ole Miss, but I think he'll be heavily pursued by a couple NFL teams because of the success that he's had.
Mike Detillier.
I don't see him going to a Florida or an LSU.
Oh, so you don't believe that LSU or Florida will be able to lift him?
No, that's just my personal opinion. It's not that I got any insights on it. I think it's going to be either one of the two. Either he stays at Ole Miss or he goes to the NFL. But I think for LSU, obviously, I think that they would like to have a couple guys tell them no. And one would be Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame, and the other being Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State. I think that they may try to shoot for one of those two guys. To be honest, I think that's more the direction they would go than, say, Lane Kiffin.
Okay. All right. The New York Giants job opened up. We know about the tie there with Jackson Dart and Lane Kiffin. The NFL doesn't do it often. Most guys haven't done Jimmy Johnson, it worked. Jim Harbaugh from Stanford to the 49ers, it worked. Pete Carroll, I know he had been fired from the NFL, as you well know. Mike D from the Patriots, but he goes to Southern Cal. It worked, and he has an unbelievable run with the Seahawks. Then there's a bunch of not working with Spurrier and Urban and Matt Rule and others. It also depends on if you have a quarterback. So, I mean, Mike, do you think this – how about this? The three guys that are rumored to possibly get one of the jobs or get an offer are Steve Sarkisian at Texas, Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, and Ryan Day at Ohio State. Do you think now, because college football is so much like the NFL, managing rosters and portal, that this may be the year that one of those guys receives an offer?
I think certainly Sarkisian and Lane will get offers. I'm not sure about Ryan Day and how much he pursues that particular part, but the NFL and college football is very similar today now. I mean, sort of a similar deal. And I think the one thing with the success growing up, even in my childhood or teens, Don Coryell had great success coming from San Diego State to the then St. Louis Cardinals and then the San Diego Chargers. He had great success with those teams. That it's about staff, but this is the commuter world of both college and pro football. And so, yeah, I think how you deal with players is important. But I do think that Sarkisian and Lane will at least be contacted on how much interest. There's been rumors that the Titans would reach out for Steve Sarkisian. So that's an interesting little twist on that. But I do think two of those three will have legitimate opportunities to enter the NFL.
And Mike, if Steve Sarkisian from Texas goes to the NFL and Texas opens up, I think that's a whole new ball game for Ole Miss with Lane.
Well,
and possibly, I don't know, Lincoln Riley, and I don't know, with Lanning being a $20 million lift buyout, I don't know if anybody's going to do that, although Texas could do it in their sleep. But you know this, if Texas opens up, we could be in for a whole new reshuffling of the deck, right?
Yes, and that will be a major reshuffling to begin with. So this is why I think one of the hot names, college, major college schools, and the NFL will also be Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I need to add him.
That was a lot of people in the NFL that felt he was a target guy last year for the NFL. And so when you start to hear that over and over, you wonder a bit about certain things at Notre Dame. You better treat them well, and you better take care of them financially, because there are going to be a lot of schools and also NFL teams that would be very interested in Marcus Freeman if he was interested in leaving. And we all know the other part of this is that they're just a handful of guys that basically kind of oversee contracts for some of the top college coaches. And call it collusion or whatever you want to do, but they all kind of market themselves off one another. So, how much I'm getting, is always based off what you know about what someone else is getting. And they sort of play it off one another really well. It's part of the athletics game that we see today being done behind the scenes by the, Trace Armstrongs and the Jimmy Sextons of the world of getting their client maximum value for their coaching skills. It's happening. A lot of people don't like to hear it. Well, that's the ugly world of sports. Well, it's part of sports.
Yeah.
You maximize the amount of money. If you're a top lawyer and you have other lawyers after you, you're going to maximize that. The same thing if you're a top doctor. If you can maximize that particular deal. A top business person, you could maximize that. If you in, say, the AI field today, you can take steps to make sure you get the most money you can, and it's happening in sports. And the playoff now is, at one time, people were not crazy about maybe going after a college coach. I think some of that stigma has been taken away because of the success, and you brought it up, of a Jim Harbaugh, great success in San Francisco, goes to Michigan, back into the NFL. What Jimmy Johnson did, what Don Coryell did. Yeah, there have been some misses. Saban was no success with the Dolphins by any stretch of the imagination there. And then Spurrier and I remember Tommy Prothro leaving UCLA to take over the Rams. Chuck Fairbanks had more success, Oklahoma to the Patriots, and then he came back to college football. So I do think Sarkisian and Kiffin is going to be a, hey, tell me if he's interested or not situation this offseason.
Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. He joins us on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be Blue, the official healthcare provider of the Out of Bounds Show. Mike D on 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. I did not realize that about Coryell. I have referenced him a couple hundred times on this show because as a kid, I loved Eric Coryell and the Chargers and Fouts and Winslow and Muncie and all those dudes. Okay, so yeah, there's been some failures. There's been some successes. You mentioned Harbaugh, Carroll, back and forth, but had success.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Johnson and so on. Is now the time that a Steve Sarkisian, a Ryan Day, a Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame, Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, could one or possibly two of those guys get the offer? New York Giants are open, Dolphins will come open, and Titans will come open. Mike D on the Out of Bounds Show. All right, Mike, do you have we like to do this when we're looking at coaching searches. Do you have a candidate who's like the floor, like Verge and the LSU Board of Supervisors or whatever, has to at least hit here? Like, is Kenny Dillingham or John Summerall, is that the floor, and that's still somebody people would go, oh, man, I can live with that if that's the floor? How do you see it, Mike D?
Oh, yeah. I do a show with Coach Summerall each week, and he deflects that, as
sure
I would do if I was in his position. But, there is some reality there that, most likely he's not going to coach at Tulane next year. He's going to be somewhere else. The somewhere else is in question. He is a Kentucky guy, but, man, would you leave Tulane to go to Kentucky? That would be the big question mark for me. And I know Coach Stoops has had some success there at Kentucky. It's a harder deal. Would you, he's from, Alabama. Would Auburn be a job that would kind of drive him in that direction? I'm not talking for him, but I'm sure he would be an interest candidate if LSU came a-calling.
Right.
And even though Kenny Dillingham is from the West and from Arizona, I think LSU could offer him opportunities and facilities and money that he's not going to get at Arizona
No
State.
question.
There is a reality check to that. Now, his family is from that area, and he lives, around a lot of his family in Arizona. But LSU is a top job that could offer him a tremendous amount. And and he's still a very young coach. Do you pursue that? I think would be the case. But no question, with this offseason full of college football openings, there will be schools that will call John Sumrall and Kenny Dillingham and say, hey, how much interest do you have in this job? And I'm sure that's why you got, as he put it to me, representation. You know, because we laugh about it all the time. He said, you got it and I got it. I don't deal with it. Representation and dealing with those matters, and you find out just how serious it is later on. But I think you bring up a good point. I think both those guys will be pursued this offseason for head coaching jobs with, and we not even, you know, at the end of the season, where I suspect you'll have a number of major jobs open up in college football.
What do you think about Lincoln Riley? He's been solid at Southern Cal. Now, I also think that they were one of the late ones to arrive. They've got plenty of money, as you know, Mike D, but I think they were one of the late ones to get into the portal, but now they're pumping money. The Big Ten's not any good, so the path is a good path. I know they've got Ohio State and Oregon and Indiana. Yeah. But do you think he wants to get back in this area of the country? Has he done enough to get into the LSU or Auburn or Florida gig, Mike D?
I would not be surprised that he gets involved in some manner. USC is a great job, and there's a lot of money flowing to USC. And as you brought up, they were late. Just like Brian Kelly was late getting into the transfer portal, NIL part of things, so did Lincoln Riley. He was real late to the game. The thing with Riley is you got to understand his offenses has always been really good. His defenses have normally been really bad. So you got to accept that he better have a really good defensive staff around him. And do you pick the right guy to run your defense? USC's defense, I watched them really good against Notre Dame. Jeremiah Love is still running the ball. They didn't tackle him then. That's been an area, Coach O and I have talked about this, that when they had that run with Pete Carroll, one of the most underrated parts of those USC teams, everybody brings up all the offensive talent, was how good they had it on defense. Mm-hmm. Man, that front seven, they were peeling them out like on a conveyor belt, one after the other. Not only great college players, but to the NFL. That has not been the case at USC in recent years. They have not been able to do that. And so Lincoln's really missed on that. But were any of those Oklahoma teams really good defensively with Lincoln Riley?
No.
Not so much. They really weren't. They hit you with the offensive tsunami. Yeah, and so the kind of teams, the comparison to him is much more Coryell than anybody else. Watching those San Diego State teams and how they would beat people back then, and he comes into the NFL with the then St. Louis Cardinals and then San Diego Chargers, none of those teams were looked at as great defensive teams. They were great offensive teams.
Right.
So I think he's much more Coryell-like than anybody else.
I agree.
Of the group. So I suspect that his name is already floating.
Yeah.
Means his agent floated that name.
Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans, has covered the NFL for over 35 years, LSU. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. This is 105.9 The Zone ESPN. We've only got a couple of minutes here, so we're going to run through this real quick. Mike D, Eddie O, your friend, Jimbo Fisher, John Gruden. You know all of them. Now, they're all a little tainted, but they've had success. Do you think one of the three, two of the three, all three get a new job or get an offer?
I think two of the three are back in college football next year. And I think Jimbo Fisher, it might be a mid-major team, but I think Jimbo has the itch to come back to be a head coach in college football. And I do think Ed Orgeron will be back in college football. Not necessarily as a head coach, but I could see him go somewhere where he's an assistant head coach, recruiting coordinator, defensive line coach. He came on the show 2 weeks ago and basically said, "Hey, I got the itch. I'm ready to get back in."
I saw that.
And so, man, I would say 2 of the 3. Gruden has always been the guy that his name is linked to every job, and I wonder how much interest is out there for Coach Gruden. And there may be an athletic director and a president of a school that says, "You know what, we need a splash." And maybe John Gruden's the guy. But I've not connected the dots with John Gruden and another school. I've not been able to do that. So I would say it's a better opportunity for Jimbo Fisher as a head coach and Coach Orgeron as an assistant head coach than John Gruden as a head coach.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Man, if you could land Eddie O as associate head coach, D-line coach, and handle some of the, get him plugged into the portal and high school recruiting, he could do a lot of things for you. And he's got a lot of, he's got a ton of experience. He's been there at LSU and Southern Cal and Ole Miss as a head coach. He can tell you about the landmines and navigating this and that. I know people would love this. I mean, he's probably going to ask for $1.5 to $2 million, which any SEC team can afford.
You're in that range. You're in the right range.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's like. But you know what? He's a character. Okay. And he understands that. There is some personality that he has that he brings to the table to be able to relate to young players and just his desire to get back in. He's been sitting around now for 4 years, so the battery's all charged up. He's ready to go. That I can guarantee you. He's ready to go.
All right. If I'm Mississippi State, I'll offer him $1.5 to $2 million to help Levy learn how to be a head coach right after the end of the season, and give him all those titles that Mike D just mentioned. Mike D, we appreciate you. Thank you, my man. We'll talk next week.
Thank you so much, folks.
All right. If you need a video wall for your lobby, your conference room, your arena, your hospital, your video walls are powered by Sound and Communications. They are the experts and the leaders in video walls. SoundCommAV.com. That stands for audio visual, as you know. Sound and Communications. Sound and Communications. Your next video wall for your business, hospital, or school is powered by SoundCommAV.com. And they've been doing it for 6 or 7 decades. An unbelievable locally owned Mississippi company powered by Sound and Communications. SoundCommAV.com.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
This is Out Warning.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Low Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9. All set? Let's go. The Zone. WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
This is Out Warning.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Low Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9. All set? Let's go. The Zone.
Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Brought to you by Mills Contracting in Gluckstadt, Mississippi. They're building assisted living facilities, strip malls. Mills Contracting in Gluckstadt, renovating state parks and community centers. They're building millscontracting.net. Let them be your next commercial general contractor. Mills Contracting in Gluckstadt. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app and the zone1059.com. A couple of different ways that you can get in touch with us. And the Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. Twitter X at Bo Bounds. Hit us up there. Say hello. We'd love to hear from you. Where are you going? What are you eating or drinking? I love when we get those tweets. Somebody somewhere had a good meal or a good beverage or at a sports book or something. And then, so Twitter X at Bo Bounds. Have you been on Twitter? No, Wes.
My Twitter?
Yeah.
Your Twitter.
Have you been on? I know you have access to my Twitter feed.
Right.
Have you been on have you checked your Twitter feed?
It's been a while.
Okay.
I think I flipped over there on accident.
Okay.
Nah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's mostly stuff dealing with the show, so I was like, well, I might as well go to the source.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I mean,
okay.
It's a lot easier. I mean,
well,
usually because if I'm going to use it, I'm going to use it for the show.
Good deal.
Typically.
Okay. Yeah, and by the way, we're dropping video and stuff on our Twitter feed too. So Twitter X at Bo Bounce, Twitter X at Bo Bounce, and then the let's go Mango Cart caller line 6. That's delicious beer. Mango Cart. Martins and Livingston has it on tap. 601-707-3750 is the caller line.
When was the last time you tweeted like for like personal like reason, like not like non-show, non-sport related deal? And what was it?
I don't know.
Like, yeah, like I mean, you didn't.
I can't think of. Maybe I don't know how long it's been since I've thrown up like
did you have
picture of food or booze.
No inspirational quotes. No.
I don't do it. I don't do inspirational quotes. You know that.
I know. I love it.
Maybe I should.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask our audience.
Maybe there needs to be one like up behind you, like over your shoulder every day. Like maybe we just cycle through there. Just one good quote.
We'll get that.
They need to be your quotes.
Sponsored.
Yeah.
Or like when the daughter graduates from college, you're not going to throw up the whole family pic and say congratulations.
Well,
to my daughter.
She is graduating this year, so maybe I will do that. But I don't know that I have posted a picture of the kids on Twitter.
Probably not.
And I don't post many of them on Facebook or Instagram, but I don't think that I've posted one on Twitter. Maybe I should. But
when do you think you started your Twitter account? I mean, how long ago was that? It had to have been a while. I mean,
16, 17 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
We had it all the way back when Charlie Sheen was having all night
That's at least 09.
Late night benders.
Plus.
And we would be up in the studio and he would be still tweeting out from LA. So it'd be like 6 a.m. here, 6:30 here. It'd be 4 and 4:30 there. And he was just on a run.
I mean, a run.
Yeah. Twitter X at Bo Bounds. We'll have even more video there and so on. Let's see. I will say, and I haven't posted this picture yet. I probably should have, me and Dak.
Yeah.
So last week I went to a Volteo party.
You got to post that.
And for the first time, I got to go to Dallas Cowboys headquarters, and they had the party Volteo tequila. It's premium boutique tequila. If you enjoy sipping on premium boutique tequila, you'll want to find Volteo, Volteo. Briarwood Wine and Spirits has it. Rain Cellars out in Flora has it. And I know Lincoln Road in Hattiesburg. But I'm glad you said that. I haven't talked about that. Flew to Dallas last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Got to go to a really, really cool party. Very intimate, maybe 30 people that Dak was hosting, and I guess the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But we got to I stayed right at the Star and flew over. It was a great party, and Volteo did a great job. Dak was coming off a tough Monday night game, and there was kind of a collective sigh of relief within his camp that ankle was okay because it didn't look good when he got sacked. He was fine moving around. I talked to him for a while. He and his fiance they know how to work a room. They're both beautiful people, but they're very nice. He talked to everybody there. He didn't know. I mean, they brought in, like, one guy there owns 215 wine and spirit stores in Texas. Okay. And he has Volteo in all of them. One guy that we met owns 16 steakhouses in the Dallas, Fort Worth, maybe Houston, Texas area. Very nice guy. Dak came over and talked to his son who was playing high school football and basically gave him a motivate. I mean, we were all about 4 of us sitting there talking, basically gave his son a motivational speech just off the cuff. And so it was a lot of fun. I did get to meet some people that work for the Cowboys. The atrium is beautiful. They host parties there all the time. I got to walk the Star for about 3 hours before the party. So that was cool.
The pictures look dope.
Yeah, they did a great job. And then about 10 of us got to go to the Cowboys Club after the party, and I didn't even know there was a Cowboys Club, and it is an unbelievable restaurant, bar, and lounge where all the bigwigs, I don't know how I got to go, but all the bigwigs go. And it's where Jerry Jones and Steven have all their, not all, a lot of their lunches and dinners because everybody's there on site. It's at the Star. It overlooks, the way they built it's pretty amazing. Jerry may not, he's terrible as a GM in football.
Right.
But as y'all know, as a businessman, he does things right. So on one side of the bar, restaurant, lounge, you overlook the outdoor practice field. On the other side of the restaurant, bar, and lounge, you overlook the indoor practice. So whatever Jerry and Steven or whoever high up in the Cowboys org, if they want to either, have lunch or late lunch or early breakfast and the team is practicing, it's all windows and they have all these different, not little rooms, beautiful rooms where they can watch the Cowboys practice. Well, that night, we all went up there to the Cowboys Club, and it's really, really nice. We've all been in really nice restaurants, bars, hotels, lobbies, resorts. This was one of the finest places I've ever been in. Yeah. Like, I really wasn't thinking. I thought it may be a little cheesy, and it was well done. So it was fun. And Dak's first question, of course, was about Starkville. Yeah. You got to be turned on.
What was the question?
His first question was, have you been to Starkville? And I was like, yes. And he said, of course you have. So he said, tell me what's going on. So we went through this and that. And he was hoping like crazy. He was hoping like hell that the football team wins another game or two.
Right.
He knew that they had played some close games and beat Arizona State, but he's also been busy as all get out.
You don't say.
So he doesn't get to, even though it's a Saturday, he doesn't get to watch all the games because they're still prepping or traveling, going to games. But he asked about Starkville, from the jump.
That's dope.
First time I'd seen him since the Super Bowl party in New Orleans, which was kind of cool. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Back in a second. All right. Good morning. Let's take a look ahead to the weekend, brought to you by Eye Care Professionals. Dr. Kirk Jeffries, Eye Care Professionals, 2 locations on Lakeland Drive, 1 in Jackson, 1 Flowood, Belmead. Eye Care Professionals. Let's take a look at the weekend. Texas at Georgia, number 5 versus number 11. Georgia will host the Texas Longhorns. Remember Kirby went over there last year and won? And so keep an eye on that one. And Texas has 2 losses. Another game, of course, the game of the week here, Ole Miss is a huge favorite. We expect them to take care of business. And they're on the path to doing all the things we've discussed. Mississippi State's trying to get bowl eligible. They actually have a winnable game. I'd probably go Missouri 60%, Mississippi State 40%. Missouri's down to their 3rd quarterback, who's a true freshman who can't run the football.
Right.
Now, Missouri's got 2 excellent running backs, and they're good on defense. And they've got some dudes on defense, some edge rushers and some other players that can flat out play. A&M eventually just wore them down, but they couldn't get anything going on offense, so they left their defense out there all day. Mississippi State fans are familiar with that. So, but it's a winnable game, 60-40. The debate over if Shapen's healthy, he plays.
Yeah.
But Camario plays either way. I mean, I don't think this is difficult. If Shapen is healthy, he plays. But if he's healthy, both of them play. If he's not healthy, then Camario plays. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Now, Jeff should be smart enough, along with that offensive staff, to put together, a couple of games. They're either he's sandbagging, which I'm okay with, or they really don't know yet, and so he's got to put together a couple of game plans. One with Shapen and Camario, and the other one with just Camario. That's what you're paid to do. Yeah. You got 115 people running around the building today, so you got plenty. You've already put together a big chunk of your game plan to date on Sunday and Monday. Today is a big grinder day too, tomorrow too, and then you kind of start getting the hay in the barn. The weather actually looks good for this time of year, but that's the game of the week because Ole Miss is basically favored by 1 million.
In this league, that's 1 million.
15.5. That is a ton of points. Florida got beat by 31 points last week by Kentucky. Incredible. Kentucky hadn't scored 38 points all season combined, and they scored 38 points in one game. Trinidad Chambliss and Lane Kiffin have to be just salivating looking at that tape and film. Looking ahead to the weekend, brought to you by Eye Care Professionals, Dr. Kirk Jeffries and the team. Cataract surgery, routine eye exams, LASIK, cataract surgery, Eye Care Professionals. Oklahoma at Bama, taking a look at the weekend. Eye Care Professionals see the difference. Oklahoma at Bama. Bama's laying 6.5. Bama has navigated all the landmines so far because we threw them out in the trash Labor Day weekend, and they haven't lost since, which doesn't that feel like 3 years ago?
It's quite a while.
With everything that's happened this football season, Ole Miss has had a magical season. Georgia's had a good season. Bama's had a good season, and A&M has had a magical year. Vandy to the Shug.
They're going.
Diego Pavia. But so here we are. Man. Oklahoma at Bama. Oklahoma beat them last year.
Yeah, they did.
In Norman. That was kind of that was Venables'
dream game, right?
Yeah. You know how Lane finally got a signature win last year?
Oh, yeah.
Against Georgia?
Yeah. That was Venables.
Venables got hit. I don't think he's going to work out, but he got his signature win.
Should we call it
last
the
year?
Most notable win?
Yeah. A&M is an 18.5-point favorite over South Carolina this weekend in College Station, even more so than Ole Miss as a favorite over Georgia. So I want you to think about line. As much as the college football game has tightened up, one-possession games, this weekend we have Ole Miss is a 15.5-point favorite, 2 touchdowns, a field goal, and a half a point. And then A&M is an 3 touchdowns and a half a point favorite over South Carolina, who is 1-6 in SEC play.
One of them isn't going to
And
hit.
3-6 overall.
Notre Dame is 11.5-point favorite against Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh.
And they're hosting game day.
I hate that. They don't deserve that.
I think game day they're like, hey,
Throw 'em a
look,
bone.
we've got to hit every part of the country.
Yeah, but do you?
I think it's a great question. It's kind of like when the college baseball
Committees.
committee tells me that they need to drop regionals in other parts of the country so that nobody's going to show up.
Wow.
But you just, quote unquote, have to have representation. And then, 727 people go to the regional.
So lame.
Right. So
Are they ever going to fix that?
I don't know how much pressure Sankey
Oh, yeah. True.
is going to start to put on all this. Now, I think I think Commissioner Greg Sankey with the SEC and the Big Ten commissioner, this doesn't apply to baseball for the Big Ten, but walk through this with me on basketball. I think they're in the process of putting an end to all the automatic bids.
Yeah.
That they believe that their level of competition throughout an 18-game schedule, that 2 to 3 more teams need to be getting in at times the tournament.
Fair.
And they know they drive the train. We get all emotional and into our feelings as sports fans for March Madness, and we claim we like Cinderella, and then we don't. If they go too far, we don't watch it.
No.
Okay? If Butler's in a semifinal game, that ain't the sizzle. Okay? Kentucky against North Carolina or North Carolina against Texas or whatever.
Right.
But I think where this is going is the reason why Sankey has not agreed to the college football playoff format is he's like, I'm not giving all y'all all these automatic bids. No.
I love that.
We're we beat up on each other. They now went to 9 games. I think that's a mistake. But I think the ADs and presidents were clamoring that our athletic departments are hemorrhaging money because we're trying to pay for football and basketball, and some teams baseball too, like Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and LSU. And we can't. There's not a path to continue to fund men's golf and women's tennis. By adding a 9th game, you get more money. Some people believe 7 to 10 million, maybe even more per year per team. And then by adding 2 more playoff games, when they can get that done. But Sankey and the Big Ten have not gotten on the same page yet, because Sankey doesn't want people to get auto bids just to get auto bids. He wants to eat up those bids with the SEC.
Yeah, might as well give him a round of applause then.
Yeah.
We stand for that.
So
Sankey's standing on business.
Yeah.
Good.
I think
good for him.
I think the money grab for the 9th conference game, I'm not saying it'll come back and backfire on them, but I don't know if it's going to be as good as they think, but the money will be there. So that's why they did it. It was just a sellout for more dough. And those years when you have 4 home games and 5 on the road, I don't care who you are. Good luck. All right. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone ESPN. We're brought to you by Southern Ag Credit, financing life outside the city limits. When you find that farm or hunting camp, that piece of land, that tract of land, SouthernAgCredit.com. Southern Ag Credit in Ridgeland, Mississippi. They're the go-to, financing life outside the city limits. SouthernAgCredit.com and in Ridgeland. Is he? Oh, he's dirty dancing. Woo! All right. Man.
I stick him the middle finger. There's no way I'm doing that.
We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Go ahead and give somebody the bird this morning. Start off good, right? Just make you feel better, maybe. We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. And we're brought to you by Total Transportation of Mississippi. They're offering nationwide and regional routes right now for drivers. Great company, big-time competitive pay, bonuses, and all kinds of good benefits powered by Total Transportation of Mississippi. Go online right now, totalms.com, totalms.com. The show is also brought to you by Southern Ag Credit, financing life outside the city limits. SouthernAgCredit.com, located in Ridgeland. SouthernAgCredit.com, financing life outside the city limits. Bowbound, Straight Funk, Wes with you. We do need some advice on how Jackson tackles his Christmas card list this year, because he's now in a relationship and they live together. Yeah. So he doesn't have a lot of wiggle room. And when 35 of your 37 people and recipients on your Christmas card list are females, some ex-girlfriends and some ex-girlfriend moms, which are awesome.
Yeah.
You just got to be, you have to be kind of like when, oh man, who's a guy that's elusive? Who's the most elusive player in the NFL today?
Oh, that's tough.
Well, give me one.
Well, I mean, Lamar's elusive.
All right, perfect. So he's got to kind of be, a little bit of Lamar Jackson here. He's got to figure out how many people he can keep on the list.
Eesh.
And how much is going to be approved, how many are going to be thrown out, how many can be brought back in.
Ooh.
Some could be eliminated, some could be brought back in. How many mulligans do you have? Things like that. And if you do just go ahead and mail it all out, and you just say, whoops, I didn't. It's just the way it.
Didn't even know.
Also, I think that you got to tell us what day you're going to Bass Pro with your dogs and in your AAU tracksuit.
For sure.
To get your Christmas card photo.
I believe I've got
and
the
you need to be holding a Tito's White Russian.
I can do that. I got my tracksuit ready. I just got to get the J's. Can't miss them. Usually, I've been on a real big heater getting all these holiday Jordans. So
when do they roll out?
It'll be late November, early December. Oh, AKA 2 weeks probably. Actually, early access is probably a week and a half.
Okay.
I got to have early access. I got to have them before.
And they're the new Jordans every year? Okay, so they're brilliant. They drop them in November.
They have
people buy them
edition.
up in 5 seconds, and MJ makes a ton of money, and Nike makes a ton of money again. They make money every day because
they come out today.
Wait, what now?
They come out.
Oh, you could be late. Are you late?
No.
On the trigger?
The early access may be today.
Are you late on the call?
Which one? Major.
Which one do you see?
That's like when
it's the it's the Gammas.
Yeah,
they're so good.
Okay,
best shoe.
You're so emotional about it. It's so ridiculous. All right, it's like not being on the bull when they pull the gate.
Yeah,
that's where you are right now.
Yeah,
you're really slacking lately.
I don't know what it is. I think the wow, no, they launched December 13th. That's what I thought.
Okay, all right. Well, you need to be on the
I usually don't miss
early list or whatever the hell you do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I'll get on there. Just gotta make a couple phone calls.
You get like the first few pairs that come out of Malaysia.
Yeah, we got. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's where Thailand or
that's right.
Whatever.
That's where the little factory is in Malaysia.
I don't think it's little.
I
don't know.
There's a bunch. They're all right beside each other.
I don't know if Phil Knight has any little factories.
Ain't little.
I would think he has a bunch of big. Can you imagine the money he gives to politicians overseas?
Overseas.
I mean, Like, I don't even know what Thailand, if they have a prime minister or what it is.
I think it is PM, yeah.
Or president, then the mayor of this and that, whatever
he
they call
pays them more than their country is worth.
Yes. Flies them around on his jet.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Like Malaysia, how much? I mean, he could buy Malaysia.
Yes, he could.
He's a king.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, the guy in Malaysia's a king?
No, excuse me, Thailand.
They got a king.
Thailand has a king. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure Phil Knight has like a guy or girl who works for Nike, and their full-time job is to keep the king
no doubt
of Thailand happy.
No question.
And maybe queen. Yeah.
I want that job.
And I'm sure it pays well with amazing stock options. Now, you may have to live there, or at least live there.
Who cares?
I don't know. I'm sure you could commute a little bit back to Oregon or New York or wherever you want to go, but I would think 9 months out of the year you have to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to make sure everything's going right.
And God knows how active you got to be on election year. Well, I don't even know if that's I don't know if that's just we stay in power as long as we have strength.
Yeah, probably so.
And rule the military. I'm not sure how that looks.
Phil Knight's footing the bill. We can stay long however we need to, right?
Right. Yeah. Like you said, Phil can buy whatever he wants in any country.
That's correct.
He wants.
Including the country.
I had the I had the audio, and I'm gonna find it. All right. Let's drop the Lane Kiffin. Let's go number one. When they asked about the Florida job being a distraction yesterday, Ole Miss media is getting a little more direct and candid with the most popular person in the state and the most popular person to ever coach any sport at Ole Miss. Here we go. Here's Lane.
A couple weeks ago that you talked to the team about dealing with distractions and rumors and stuff of that nature. Have you had to do that again specifically with this game this week?
I mean, I haven't even talked about it to him. I had one of them. I think I'm pretty close to the players where they walk by or they say something, like if it was on their mind, they'd make a joke or something. I don't think it is. I think that they're very focused on what to do. Again, I said it's a different age nowadays. Like when I addressed it a couple weeks ago, and I certainly don't think it was a distraction in a sense. Went up to Oklahoma, South Carolina, played really well last week. I said, hey, this is kind of the world that you're in. You guys now are used to this where players aren't used to, I mean, these guys get way more of it than I do. They get calls on Saturday night after games from other coaches talking about next year and how much money they have for them and their plans for them and their system. So I don't think it's that big a deal.
He doesn't think it's that big a deal. It sounds like he's deflecting a little bit. He may know what he wants to do. He may not. It's not. I got a text earlier on the Golden Moon Casino text line about money, and someone was like, "Yeah, Ole Miss can pay." It's not going to be about money.
No.
Once you get to, yes, Ole Miss can offer 12, 13, 14, 15. So can Florida, LSU. Of course, NFL can offer whatever they want. I mean, Sean Payton 7 years ago was making $17 million in the second smallest market in the NFL in New Orleans. And so, yes, Ole Miss can pay.
Obviously.
Anybody in the league can.
Yeah.
It will not be about money. It'll just be about
Lane.
Lane and what he'll reflect. All right, have I done everything I can do here? Or no, we can actually now with the new environment win a national title. Or, hey, I've been here longer than anywhere else in my life. And he's used to moving around. His dad moved around in the NFL. Lane moved around a lot until getting to Ole Miss. Maybe now it's, hey, I want another challenge. I want to go to Florida, LSU, or the New York Giants, or the Dolphins. I don't know. Key Carter doesn't know.
No.
Not sure Jimmy Sexton knows.
No.
I'm not sure his kids know. People talk about, his kids are absolutely they're happy.
They'll be happy everywhere else.
Guess
too.
what? When you're making that money and when you get relocated at that level, it is the Ritz-Carlton of relocation. They can do it in about 10 minutes.
Right.
Everybody gets on private planes. People pack up your stuff. You don't have to worry about it.
No.
It's not like when you and I move. All right? It's not. They don't pick up one candle or one plate or one duffel bag.
Nice.
So he's got a great gig and a great deal going at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
LSU's a better job. Florida's a better job, even in this environment. Doesn't mean that he can't win it all at Ole Miss. If Texas opens up you're going to have to sweat again. If Steve Sarkisian is offered an NFL job, you'll have to sweat again. If Marcus Freeman is, I don't know. I don't think Lane's going to Notre Dame.
No, that's not a fit.
Now,
I don't think he'd like it.
Ryan Day, if he goes to the NFL, you're going to have to. Ole Miss will have to sweat, and others will have to sweat because it's Ohio State.
Right.
You could argue it's the best job in the country.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the path in the Big Ten and because they're standalone, the only thing in town in the state of Ohio, other than pro sports.
Right.
But pro sports doesn't take your talent.
No.
You know, except in the draft 3 years later. But
yeah, right.
You're not competing against the Browns and the Bengals or anybody else.
You telling me the Ohio Bobcats don't get any love up there?
Man, they're one of my favorite teams.
And aren't they the Bobcats?
I don't know.
Are they the Bobcats or the Bearcats? Bearcats? Dang it.
Akron's in Ohio. That's
They
where
are,
the Fighting Joe Moorheads have been.
Yeah. Man, he wasn't fighting.
What's he, 3-39 or something? I don't even know. Or has he even won 3 games since he left Oregon as the OC to go to Akron?
Has he? No way.
I'm not sure that he has.
No. I thought he was fired.
I think he's already gone.
Yeah,
I think he got fired a
he
week
got
or so
yeah,
ago,
yeah,
but I can't remember. It's been it's not a job that we care about.
No.
But Joe Moorhead was tied here for 2 years.
He also made the rounds in the preseason whenever he took that little subtle dig. Maybe
he
not
took
so
a shot
subtle.
at Mississippi State and Dan Mullen.
Yeah.
It's like when people on the boards are like, "Yeah, it took Dan a while." I'm like, "What world are you?" They're trying to discredit what Dan did.
Yeah.
To, I guess,
justify
the fascinating experiment that you're going through with Jeff Lebby if he can ever turn the corner and be a big-time SEC head coach. Don't do that to Jeff. Don't compare Dan Mullen and Jeff Lebby.
It's not fair.
That's another thing. You remember I was referencing Ole Miss yesterday, and you just if somebody starts to debate Mullen and Lebby with you, hand them your plate of food or your cocktail and walk out of there immediately. Get out.
Yep.
That person, doesn't have the brain power of a caveman 4,000 years ago, which maybe they were smarter than us anyway. But the point is, Dan Mullen, without the portal, turned around the program in 1 year and won 9 games.
Right.
In year 2. So don't do that.
Did he bring someone with him at that point, or did he?
No, he wasn't allowed to bring players with him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Players had to sit out when Dan Mullen took the job.
That's right.
So even if he would have brought players with him, they would have had to have sat out a year.
I guess
that was back when the rule was you transfer, you sit, period.
1 year, no matter what.
Yes.
So so obviously Chris Ralph was sitting and start. How do they get on Ralph?
Ralph was already there.
Yeah,
Ralph was already there. He would have never been any good under Sylvester Croom because Croom wasn't, nor did his staff have the ability to elevate a kid who was that raw.
Right.
That's what makes guys like Mullen, Kiffin, Heupel, among many others, successful. That Dan Mullen took Chris Ralph, who couldn't throw it from me to you, and made him a decent passer and an unbelievable power zone read quarterback running the football. Yeah. He would have never played.
Where's he from?
He would have never played under a Sylvester Croom, Joe Moorhead, type, because they're not good enough to take someone like that and just Dan can get quarterback, add water. You got a QB. That's Dan Mullen.
Straight up.
I mean, look who he's winning with out at UNLV right now. I mean, that kid looks like he should be the Russ chairman for Pike fraternity.
Ralph was 6'4".
I mean, and I saw him. I mean, he looks like he should be cruising to the marketing class today on the UNLV campus and then going to play golf with his buddies.
Yeah.
And he's winning with that. I know that kid's athletic and whatever, but they fully believe out there that they're going to land a Diego type guy at UNLV. And they may lose him once they land him, but they'll get him for a year or so. And they believe if they get a Diego type guy, that it's on.
Yeah.
And Dan knows how to find those guys.
Right.
My point in all that, don't compare Mullen and Lebby. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the other Lane audio. The one about if you're offered Florida And well, I mean, he's obviously going to be offered both. He's the current Ole Miss head coach. But if it comes down to Florida and Ole Miss, this is Lane in his press conference yesterday as he's getting more direct questions.
Just, I mean, if Florida wants you and if Ole Miss wants you, it'll necessitate you making a decision. I was just curious, like with the portal opening on January 2nd, do you even have time to think about that, or how important is it to come to whatever decision before the portal opens?
I don't know. I'm not that far down the road. I said it last week, and you guys think I was joking, or the South Carolina, like everybody wants to talk about other jobs and everything, and I think you're 2-3 weeks away from coaching for your own job, so you better make sure you're doing really well where you are, because as we've seen out there, I've said 1 win put you out of the top 10, now 2 wins might put you out of the top 25, and 3 might get you fired. So I ain't figured all that out. I'm trying to keep our winning streak, get taken.
All right. Deflecting again.
Golly.
But he's got to.
Oh, yeah, no,
unless
yeah.
he's just going to come out and say it's off the table.
Right.
I am staying. Keith and Sexton will work it out. I'm here.
Right.
And he may do that any day now or any week now, but he's had every opportunity.
Yeah.
So he's still thinking about that, but he's also, I do agree with him, he is thinking about Florida. I mean, he's also thinking about winning a football game this weekend, even though they're 15.5-point favorite, a lot better. I mean, Florida's got Steve Spurrier Jr. that's got his hands on that offense. That guy is not a good football coach. Okay? But back to Lane. This has finally gotten Ole Miss fans stirred up. Because, I mean, look, he's popular as he should be because all he's doing is winning in the last 6 years.
Right.
They're ready for him to come out and tell them just like what I would want to hear, just like what you would want to hear, regardless of who you pull for. Just like you want to hear from people around you. I want to stay.
Simple.
I want to be with you or your school or your company or your, I mean, take it down to Brandon High School. Brandon High School is going to offer the job to their number 1 candidate. They want that person to say yes. If not, they're going to go to a number 2 candidate. They want that person to say yes. The other side of that school, whoever they're going, it wants that person to say, no, I'll stay. It's the same thing here.
Yeah.
But Ole Miss fans, now we have received several texts this morning from Ole Miss fans, which is great. And they're like, no way he's leaving. I think I think anything can happen in life. I think none of us know as humans what we're going to do second to second, minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, week to week. No
way.
We're totally unpredictable.
Yeah.
We're so flawed, and we don't know. We really don't know anything about anything at the end of the day. But anyway.
Yeah, straight up.
Do you think there's a timeline when he's got to announce?
No.
I mean,
now
when he should.
I think the Ole Miss fans are saying, "Hey, if we win, it doesn't matter." Yeah,
I agree with that.
Because if you run into the portal,
sure,
then it could be the pressure cooker of time, where the ball is totally in Keith Carter and Ole Miss's court.
Yeah,
the ball is on their side because Ole Miss has won a game or two, and it's getting prolonged into the January portal.
Ooh.
Now, NFL, it doesn't matter.
No.
They don't worry about the portal. That's why people are texting me about Steve Sarkisian from Texas possibly going to the NFL, Lane Kiffin, Marcus Freeman, Ryan Day. Could one of those guys get a shot at the Dolphins, the Giants, or the Titans, sorry.
I feel like
Titans job.
One of them's slam dunk. One of them's got to be getting one of those jobs.
You would think that
the Titans.
You would think that this year would be one of the better opportunities for a sitting college coach to get that offer.
Yeah.
Whether it was Sarkisian at Texas, Ryan Day at Ohio State, Lane at Ole Miss, Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Lane can do obviously Lane can do it. Unlike, I think about Vitello going from college to the pros, which is obviously this whole different deal over there because he's never done this in the pros. Lane can. Lane will do. For some reason, I believe Lane will do well. I don't know what it is.
I think he's got a good opportunity to do
sure,
well.
Yeah, I mean,
the two guys that I would like the best would be, if I'm an NFL, if I'm going to go that route, would be Lane and Marcus Freeman.
yes, not Sark.
Not Sark.
Not Sark.
I'm not
and
with Sark.
I'm just not sure on Ryan Day. While I think he's got some, without a doubt, a skill set that's good. When you're at Ohio State, I just got to take that. Like what Lane has done is almost as, I know winning a national title is not easy, and they did last year. I do not want to diminish that.
Right.
Because winning is hard.
But and they're playing with A++ talent on every.
It's still been watered down there too, just like Georgia and Bama. Now they may be able to keep a little bit more in the coffers than Georgia and Bama just because of location.
Yeah.
And kind of who they are. Not that Georgia and Bama aren't huge. That's a good question, Jackson. I just don't know about Ryan. I think he's good. I don't know if he's special. I think Lane has turned into a special coach. I think Freeman is turning is developing into a special coach. I think
he can do the NFL.
I think Kirby is a special coach. I don't think Kirby wants to go to the NFL, but I could be wrong. You just kind of get this. We could be totally wrong, but just because he's a Georgia guy, you kind of see him there forever. But Kirby may wake up one day and go, you know what? I've done it, and I want to go. I want to make a run at the. I send a bunch of players to the NFL, and all the scouts and GMs come through Athens to our building every year. Maybe I don't want to do this anymore. But anyway, I'll put that on the back burner for now. I'm going to tell you this: if Notre Dame opens up, or Texas opens up, or Ohio State opens up because one of those guys go to the NFL, get ready for a wild. If you think it's wild now, and it is, and it's only, and we're still going to have to, hang on to the 4,000-pound bull. If one of those guys goes to the NFL, you're talking about a reshuffling of the deck.
That's right.
Those are three of the most prestigious jobs, period. It doesn't matter what environment. Texas, Notre Dame, Ohio State.
Man. That'll be the biggest reshuffle that I can remember ever.
Because we're about to get one anyway with Florida, LSU, and Auburn.
And Penn State.
And Penn State.
Penn State's still there.
Well, we're forgetting about Penn State.
I know.
So I don't think Joe Brady, unless he gets fired, wants to go to college.
Oh, would he?
I do think Jeff Brom would have to take a strong look at it from Louisville.
That's a big-time job, man.
I would have to believe Mullen may say, even though he loves UNLV and the weather and the golf and the Raiders and
they offered him, he's out.
I think so.
He'd need to.
Who else?
Would they go?
I don't think Summerall is
That's not a fit.
I don't think that's, but I could be wrong.
What about like a Golson from US?
Golish, South Florida.
Golish.
He hasn't really done a lot.
Yeah,
he has done a good job this year. I may need to see a little bit more. Drinkwitz, he's had a hell of a schedule, but before we just throw it under the bus, they have done a good job landing talent.
Yeah.
High school and portal. Now, I know they're not Ole Miss, but they've still done well the last 2 years. Right? All right, lunch today brought to you by Burgers, Blues, Barbecue, Dogwood, Flowwood, Smash Burgers, and Blue Plates. Burgers, Blues, Barbecue, B3, Dogwood, Flowwood.